Eh, So, guys, personally, I feel like so. Can we do a quick check on let's say USD before we continue with our live session? Watu wangapi wanajifeel tufanye a session? Actually, I'm live on YouTube. So if you want to join the YouTube, you see the charts. You can just go directly to the. You can just go directly to my link on bio, and then you can go to YouTube. Gene aje. So I want us to, before we start, I want us to look at gold. I really want us to look at gold and what HAUSD is doing, and most importantly, hi, Bloodies, how are you? Remember YouTube, okay, bro. Yeah, I'm about to start analysis there. Actually, TikTok will just be psychology, and then sisumbuani na wao tena mimi personally. I'm just tired. So guys, what do you think? Just a moment. Acha nikae huku kwa chat. Man, I'm trying to bring the interface here. Yeah, mimi kuona screen but sioni, I don't know. You know, every time I always say one thing, every time you're starting something, it will be hard. Hakuna kitu itakuwa easy. Okay, but the obsession is what makes it, a bit easy. Okay, the obsession you'll be having is what makes it way more easy. So, can you guys hear me? So, I don't have much, but I want us to check on gold. If you check carefree, but YouTube is a bit slow compared to TikTok. But again, it goes with your internet speed. So kama speed yako iko nyuma, then you might drag a bit. So make sure you keep on refreshing your live. Make sure you keep on refreshing. So to me, if you check carefree, gold is trying to basically what gold is doing is that we have our area where gold is just printing daily candlesticks. Simona imekuwa congested. Okay, so you can see basically we have been able to sweep the lows of the daily candlesticks, the two lows. Remember yesterday we had liquidity below here, so tumebaki na liquidity ya juu, and then also we have a liquidity on the upper side. So in this case, I would like to note that the daily candlestick for the daily candlesticks yesterday I was actually looking for candlestick to buy all the way up, but ilikata. So if we go to 4-hour time frame, guys on TikTok, you can, if you have a laptop, you can join on YouTube. You get to see what I'm doing for the analysis, because now we have no option. No option. So basically, you can see that gold is trying to break structure to the downside. First of all, remember hapa tulikuwa na break of structure, right? We had a very, very good strong break of structure at this level. Okay, I think I should give it like a white color. And then after that break of structure, we had mitigated. Remember, every time we have a break of structure, there's always one thing I say. Every time you have a break of structure, the market will be looking for a reason to do a retracement. Okay, market itakuwa kila saa inatafuta a reason to do a retracement. The market will always be looking for a reason to do a retracement, and that is where you can see that the market had mitigated this order block at this particular level here. Okay, we had a discount level. Do you know why these guys, I consider this as a discount level? The reason I consider it as a discount level is because if you watch carefully, the market broke structure and it continued going to the upside. Okay, the market broke structure here at this point and it continued going to the upside. That means it broke structure and ikaendelea na maisha yake. Okay, it continued to the upside. Please share the link. The link is in my bio. Just go and click, it will take you directly. So for this case, I need a path. Usually, you know that the daily time frame, I've been using it for just daily buyers and a few things. So I don't usually use it that much. I don't usually use it that much. So here we had where is the path? Come on. Okay, here it is. So what do we consider as a discount level? A discount level is whereby the market breaks structure and continues going towards that direction. Okay, the market can break structure. For instance, let's say you have an established high and a low. Okay, once the market takes that high, okay, or low, and then instead of doing a retracement to come back to a certain level before pushing further, the market decides it's gonna continue breaking structure towards that direction. So you have we had a break of structure and a continuation to the upside, right? So hapa ukiangalia vizuri, the market respected the decisional point, right? And after respecting that decisional point, I saw the market being able to push back all the way to this level. Remember one thing, okay? Unakumbuka nikiwaambia this point here was not a valid break of structure. This one. It wasn't a valid break of structure, meaning it was, to me, it's just like liquidity, okay? Now, meaning this level here is the valid break of structure that I have, okay? And if this is the valid break of structure that I have, then that means that the only valid low that I have is this one. Yeah. That's the only valid low that I have for now, okay? So meaning the moment I will see that low being taken out, I know we have officially changed direction of this market, okay? The moment that happens, we have changed the direction officially of that market. Guys, Icon, you guys, you don't want to go on YouTube and see analysis. Don't worry. On TikTok, I'll be coming. We discuss one-on-one about psychology. But when it comes to technicals, I think you being here, it will be easy for you to understand. This is a better way of doing this. So until this law was taken out, you see, until this law was taken out, that is when I confirmed my main change of character had happened. I'm on YouTube. Oh, that's that. Okay, that's when my main change of character has happened. Also, understand that YouTube will be slow according to your network. According to your network, expect it to be a bit slow. So here we had a change of character followed by, now of course internal change of characters zilikuwa mingi. Kuna internal unaweza chukua hiyo. This was created. There was this one which was already formed. You can take anywhere you want. Okay, you can take whenever you want. So now if you check carefully, the market was able to change character, do a retracement up to this level, and then break structure again. Now this is on the higher time frame views. Mnaona niko 4 hours. Break structure again, and after breaking structure again, we can see also we were able to break structure again to this level, and that is when we reacted to this discount level. So remember, if a discount level has to be respected, okay, if a discount level has to be respected, discount or premium, I don't want to be specific, but if a discount level or premium level has to be respected, remember, it has to distribute all the way to the highest point or the lowest point. It has to distribute all the way to the lowest point or the highest point. So in this case, we have our highest created point is this one. Okay, that could be the main target of respecting what? This discount level here. But if the market does not respect that discount level, from that point, not that level, but from that point, then we could see the market respecting the price actions. Unaona ilikuwa na price action inakuja nayo. Sijui kama unaiona. The problem is I'm on higher time frame. So you see this 1, 2 creates a new high, creates a new low, creates a new high, then creates a new low, and then finally, we have not broken, we have not seen a change of character. But we have seen what? We have seen a potential, we have seen a break of our strong high. Okay. So this also I would like to consider it as liquidity. Si mara ya kwanza of late mmeona gold ikijaribu kufanya hivi. I think it's not the first time you guys have seen gold trying to do this wild thing here. Let me name this liquidity. Chanipe jina. Give it liquidity sign. And then I can also save it as liquidity. Because now, I'm here long term. So I can save them. I think I have to change these. How will liquidity look like that? Let me give it white. Yeah, white will make more sense. Not too shiny, but let me save it as liquidity. And then now, oh shit. Okay, I'll have to delete one. Okay. Just a minute. Mejikoroga. Okay. Huku mko theory. Yeah, not theory. We are on YouTube live if you want to join. I love creating a space whereby mess out and it's okay. I'll change it later. I love creating a situation whereby I can do anything comfortably. Okay. So for instance, in this case, we have that high, and I would love to consider that not a change of character. That is a sweep. It's not a change of character, it's a sweep. It's just a sweep. Okay, you guys also on YouTube, you remember you have to like the live, okay? At least. Like the live and share the live. So now, if you check this, whatever price action we have here, it is on a higher time frame, okay? It happen on the higher time frame. And now, being that is happening on the higher time frame, it means that the market is basically we can't depend on higher time frame to know what the market is doing. Hatuwezi. If you stick to higher time frame, it's going to be so much difficult for you to like if you stick on the higher time frame, it will be difficult for you to understand what is happening. And you all know that we try as much as we can to pay attention to the lower time frame. Especially to me, 15 minutes, I love paying attention to 15 minutes. Because 15 minutes will give me the exact conditions I want. Because, again, I'm an intraday trader. Can we tap here? Yes, you can. You can, bro. So, what you can see here is we had a break of structure. Then we are coming for this discount level. At least tungeona a good break of structure at this level here. It would have been very, very nice for us. If you could have seen a very good break of structure at this level here. Ingekuwa poa. But sadly, we didn't see a good break of structure. And that is what the market is doing. So this is the higher time frame overview. Okay, this is the higher time frame overview. It's not like something you really need to stress yourself about. And this is why I always say one thing. Nilikuwa nawafunza kitu nikaambia, if you know that you're not, if you understand or if you feel like trading is way difficult to a point whereby you don't understand what the charts are doing, or you don't understand basically price action, try to pay a lot of attention. Try to pay a lot of attention on each break of structure at a time. Okay, try to pay a lot of attention on each break of structure at a time, because only that way you are going to be able to, understand what the price is doing. So in this case, we had a break of a sweep of liquidity, but now these are higher time frame. So like that is higher time frame price action. I would love to add 3 hours and 2 hours, also 1 hour. It's there 30 minutes and also 15 minutes. So if I go to like on the same higher time frame and I look at 2 hours, you see there's no big difference. There's no big difference. Hakuna difference kubwa. If you guys want to watch the charts, you can join the YouTube channel. In case you have joined and you don't know what is happening. So it will be just 20 minutes. We will be done and we start now checking ourselves on psychology and also having a conversation of trading. So in this case, if you check, still I'm on the higher time frame. Nyinyi wenyewe mnajua vizuri sana my higher time frame duration ama my higher time frame chart zinakuanga nini? Zinakuanga 2 hours, 3 hours and 4 hours. 2 hours, 3 hours and 4 hours. That is what I use for the higher time frame. Right? That's what I use for the higher time frame. But if you check on the 2 hours time frame, now this is how you do it. You understand that the market is taking support from a strong level kwa market iliyopita. So you can just as well delete all this. Okay, because that one again ukienda kwa lower time frame it will be like somehow confusing. Now if you pay attention to what you have here on the mid time frame, I would like to go to 1 hour time frame. If I pay attention to what I'm having currently, I'm having a very simple thing. I'm having a low. Okay, our first price action ilianzia at this level, whereby I'm having a low and a high. Okay, I'm having a low and a high, right? Whereby we saw a break of that low. We saw a break of that specific low, meaning it's a break of structure. I think also I should, hey, naona kumove mouse ikiwa mbali bwana. Vile sijazoea, but I'll get used to it. So I give it a straight line, give it yellow or white. So I want nataka ikuwe break of structure yetu. I let it be white. So this will be our BOS. BOS. Okay. Style text and then I save as. Break of structure. Break of structure. So in this case, oh man, staki zikuwe blue but ni sawa. So you can see from this case we saw what? We saw a break of structure. And remember, hii POI iko hapa ndo tulikuwa tumemitigate hapa because ni kwa higher time frame. So kinaweza kuwa the POI inaweza kuwa a bit huge. Bado ndio tulikuwa tumemitigate really hapo juju. But pia kulikuwa na point of interest we had mitigated. I hope the sound is good now. I hope you guys can hear me. Someone is telling me YouTube iko chini kidogo. You can increase your volume. Kama una feel iko chini sana. Good afternoon, G. How are you, bro? So, join analysis. So we had this low and we had a low and a high. Okay. So what happened is, as the market was trying to come back for this low, you know one thing, when you have a low and a high. Okay. Now this in this case, after a break of structure, we had this low and this high, right? Remember, this becomes a strong high, and once the price breaks that high, that's when we can confirm what the price is about to change, maybe direction or something. But you can see at the same time, once a break of structure happens, you have to come up with the points of interest, right? Volume iko okay, thank you. So you can see here we have that supply level there, and the market was able to come for that supply and push all the way again to breaking that structure, right? Remember, purpose of a retracement is to continue breaking structure. Okay, so we saw a break of structure there, and after that break of structure, we can't see your screen. Nancy, you can join my YouTube. That's where the screen is. I remember you followed me yesterday. Please go and link in bio. You just join my. You can join with your laptop. It will be easier if you have a laptop. So yes, so we had a break of structure and a supply level. Okay. So now the problem is the market also, just like we have this supply. Remember, immediately a break of structure happens. Okay. When a break of structure happens at this level here, we are expecting the market to do what? To respect these previous highs that we have. So now we are not interested in these highs. And now our interest is mostly on this high, okay, as our as the one that will maintain what our trend to the downside. Okay. So if I drop a line there, remember I'm still on the higher time frame, you can see that the price did what? When the market was coming back, it did sweep that high. But if you notice something, once we had a break of structure, the market was so aggressive, okay? And it continued breaking structure again, meaning the price was continuing to that direction, okay? So meaning basically we had a break of structure there, right? And if we had that break of structure there, then that means these are a strong high as well, okay? So this high now is no longer that important as this high here. Now you can see very carefully. Now we have a high, okay? We have a high at this level here, meaning that high should protect the trend to continue to the downside, and we have a supply level there. Why do you think I did not trade this supply level? Because it was obviously Asian level, right? You all know that Asian levels, I don't do anything with them. I don't joke with them. I just stay away, okay? But instead, we were able to take out that level. Why? Because taking out that level gave us a what? A change of character, right? It gave us a change of character, and the market also continued to the upside and continued breaking structure further all the way to the upside, giving us a discount level. If there will be a level here, it's gonna be a discount level, right? So to me, okay, to me, as you guys can see, is that after taking this supply level here, this key level here, and you can see it happened so very nice because after the break of structure happened, that's when we mitigated a key level, which is the discount level on the higher time frame, mkumbuke, and then we were able to change character, leaving us with a what? With a demand level, right? So from this point, you need to ask yourself, what are the levels that could hold this market? Remember, the more I am trying to understand what the market is doing, okay, the more I'm trying to understand what the market is doing, that means it's the more I'll have to go to the lower time frame. And the more I go to the lower time frame, the chances of me being confused are very, very high. The chances of me being lost and confused are very high when I'm doing it on the lower time frame. So what am I trying to tell you? What I'm trying to tell you is that anytime you drop to a lower time frame, and that's why I always divide my time frames in categories. Because anytime you try to drop into the lower time frame, trust me, there's a chance of you being lost in that market condition. There's a very, very high chance that you're going to get lost from that market condition. So in our case here, let's tap and like the live and share the live TikTok. So in our case here, we have a what? This was our break of structure. And after the break of structure, if you check on the lower time frame, we continued with the trend, right? Watu wengi walifikiria market imeenda. Remember, the market continued with the trend. So this was basically the last break of structure, the last high that was created, okay? This one here. And if this is the last high that was created, that means that high was taken out. And if we took that high out, then what does that mean? That means the change of character has happened. Right? Remember, it has happened after sweeping liquidity above. If we see that sweep of liquidity, then we saw a retracement, and then another break of structure has happened. Right? But now, if you do analysis the way I'm doing, you'll be lost. That's why I always advise people, once you see a break of structure, think of yourself, which level can I call, can I expect the market to retrace back to? Which level, which point do I expect the market to retrace back to? Okay. So in this case here, we had a cluster fair value gap. You know, cluster fair value gap is one of the major things that I use. It was around here. Cluster fair value gap means having so many fair value gaps at the same area. Okay. Having so many fair value gaps at the same point. If you want to join analysis, you can join my YouTube channel. Link in bio. You can see the analysis from there. Okay. So from there, what happened? We mitigated this pile of fair value gap. We had a break of structure. You can draw your change of character there or there, but here it sounds combined as a core. So we had a change of character, and immediately we mitigated a key level, which is fair value gap, and then we started pushing to the upside. And as we were pushing to the upside, if you check carefully on the higher time frame, the market rejected from a higher time frame order block. Okay, 2 hours hiki kyote maybe ndio ili block market, but if you want to be more specific, it took a decisional point. Okay, but I would like to say that the higher time frame is the one that looks easier. Okay, the market retraced back, took this level here, and then it has gone again and broken structure. But now, are you really interested? What points? This one will go with you as a trader by asking yourself, guys, if you want to join analysis, you can join my YouTube channel. We are doing it live on YouTube. If you want to stay here and listen, it's okay. But now there's one thing I always ask myself, and I always ask you guys. That is, what after each and every break of structure, you expect two things. One, something that will retrace the market. Okay, the market will always be looking to do a retracement or a correction. Okay, it needs to collect orders after giving that impulse move. Sindio? It will always be looking to correct orders after giving that impulse move. But now the question is, if the market will be giving you a break of structure, okay, then it will be looking to do a retracement, and then it will be looking to distribute further. What are the things on the TikTok? What are the things you guys, and YouTube, what are the areas you guys should be more interested in? The market is always looking to break a high or a low, okay, an established high or low. That is the purpose of the market. And after breaking that high, there is a collection that will happen. Why? Because there was an aggressive move or an impulse move whereby, you know, every time we have an impulse move, what happens? Yeah, by the way, anytime we have an impulse move, what happens? What happens after an impulse move? You can't be serious. Dan, what happened? What happens, guys? What happens after an impulse move? Collection, correct. Imbalance will be left. Right. Imbalance will be left. Now the market has to pull back to fill that imbalance. Okay. The market has to come back to fill that imbalance. Correction. Yes, the market will be willing to correct. Premium discount levels will be created. Yes, that is also another case. Now the question is, if after break of structure you are looking for a retracement, there is one thing you need to focus on: level of retracement. Where will that market take retracement from? Okay. For instance, here we had a break of structure, right? I need to ask myself, where will the market retrace from? Why is it retracing? Because it needs to come inside the range to correct all these unfilled orders and then continue. For instance, here you can see we had unfilled orders at this level. The market came back, filled the orders on that fair value gap, and pushed to the upside, right? That fair value gap, that cluster fair value gap did play its part. Are you together? That cluster fair value gap did play its part because it's part of the orders that were not filled. So this is why I always say one thing. Once you understand a break of structure happens, then a retracement happens. Okay, on YouTube, guys, make sure you follow my YouTube channel. You subscribe to my YouTube channel. After the break of structure, the market is looking for there's only two things you're supposed to be interested in. One, retracement level, my retracement point, and two, once the market does the retracement, which level will it be coming for? Okay. For instance, in this case, once the market broke structure, sikuwa na level yoyote hapa yenye inge retrace market. I never had any level, important level that could have retraced market except a fair value gap ilikuwa hapa. So in every break of structure, for instance, in every break of structure, you'll be having 2 points. One, you have, instead of trading the normal way, ile ya ushamba ya kitambo ya huko 2021, that after a break of structure, you are waiting for the market to retrace back for you to buy. No, you can also do one thing. Instead of waiting for the market to come to a certain level for you to buy, you can do one basic thing. You can ask yourself, where will the market mitigate? Okay, give me sales from here, push me back to certain level, then from that certain level retracement, give me more buys to continue to that direction. So in a position whereby you have one break of structure that could have given you one entry, you have how many? You have, in a position whereby you have one break of structure that could have given you one single entry, you utilize it into having two potential entries, because sometimes you'll find yourself that this point of interest near Asia, okay, you'll find that this point of interest is an Asian point of interest. But this one, the POI you have here, point of interest that you could drop with, it's valid. So you can wait for the market to come here only to not trade. But once you enter here, you'll be able to trade to this position. So let me not get into explaining these things so fast, so much. Let's go deep into, guys, join my YouTube channel if you're on the live session. So in this case, after the breakout structure happened, one thing we understand very well is that we mitigated a very, very strong point of interest, right? We mitigated a very, very strong key level here, okay? And after baby Z dena ah yawe kera maguta eh eh uh-huh. Okay, sawa. Sorry guys, I was doing something. I was talking to someone. So let's proceed. So in this case, we saw a break of structure. One thing, there's always three things I look for. Let me give you a secret today. There's always three things I look for once a break of structure happens. Once is I look for something called okay. One is I look for something called, there's a few things, and this is where I integrate my concept that I use. YouTube, let's like and share. Let's like and share the live, guys. Let's like and share our lives to ourselves. Pia follow. So basically, there is a few things once a break of structure happens that I look for. Okay, this is very, very educative. If you guys can take it seriously, it will save you years of headache. Okay, you can go and do your own analysis and use it as well to come up with your own ways. One is I look for cluster fair value gap. Okay, Go and do a research of what cluster fair value gap is. Right? That is one. Even you guys, go and look for an idea of what cluster fair value gap is. 2, I use SMC concept to identify my points of interest, but I don't use them the same way with the same refining method they use. For me, I try to capture as huge retracement level as I can. Okay. So I use SMC concept to catch my retracement levels, right? So obviously SMC concepts have two concepts. One, we have I think I'll give size 2. I'll give it white. So what usually we have two SMC concepts that we use. One is decisional point and 2 is extreme point. Once you focus yourself on these key levels or these levels and how to use them, you don't need to stress yourself again. You don't need to stress yourself again. Also, make sure, okay, if you want to get the mentorship, okay, from learning how to trade, either you're a beginner or intermediate, learning how to trade, understanding price action, all these things you can, it's easy. All you need to do is join the mentorship. Okay. So from this case, if you check carefully, now let's go directly to the analysis so that tumalizane na YouTube, and then we'll be able to go on TikTok. We discuss a few things that I want us to discuss. So kama unaangalia market lately, ilikuwa ifanya nini? Market did not, it give us our main change of character. Remember, this is a main change of character. It does give us a sign by taking out our main change of character, which is these highs, okay? And it has also been able to mitigate a strong point of interest, which is this point here, right? After mitigating, it has given us a change of character, which is very strong, okay? And the market instead, the reason for retracement is a fair value gap that has been mitigated before, okay? So we have mitigated fair value gap for the second time. So remember, if you feel like understanding overall market direction, understanding all these things, trust me, kama mnasikia ni kama kuelewa hizi vitu zote kwa market ni ngumu, you don't need to understand everything. Just be good at identifying your points of interest and identifying where the breakout structures will be happening. Once you know how to identify a valid breakout structure, okay, and that is what I do teach. Once you understand how to identify a valid breakout structure, then from that valid breakout structure, you come up with your points of interest. Then from those points of interest, you understand how to refine the valid and invalid points of interest. Bro, you are good with price action. You can even open up your market every day, maintain on one time frame, just watch out for a breakout structure, confirm the breakout structure on different time frames, like maybe lower time frame, mid time frame, and higher time frame. Then once you do that, very simple. Confirm your point of interest. Is it valid or invalid? Nothing else. You don't need to stress yourself, brother. You don't need to stress yourself. Because trading is not hard. We are the ones who make it feel like, seem it's hard. See, singomo. The first thing is once, and that's why I always teach like this. And that's why I always don't ignore like explaining the direction of the market, because I also want people to understand what is the market doing, what is the direction. But again, if you're not cool with understand, because let me not discuss my system. Let's first continue with our edge. So in this case, there's one thing that you guys will notice. The market is up and down, up and down, up and down. There's no resting. The market I rest. Kabisa. It's either up, down, up, down. Why? Because the market is in the higher time frame. We can see that it's basically lunging. So from this point, you can see clearly what is the market doing. We had a break of structure. We came to certain level. It's a very, very high time frame points of interest that was mitigated here. Okay, I can give it a different color so that we don't get to confuse it. So from that case, we can see that the market has pushed all the way to the downside and it has broken structure. Okay? Leo najua kuna watu wengi sana wametolewa wenye walikuwa na baia unajaribu kubuy kwa hii demand. Because if you are trying to buy from this demand here, you have a problem in life. You have a problem. Because this demand was already mitigated. Remember, a point of interest can only be used once. You can't use it twice. You need fresh orders, not repeating orders. Because how sure are you the same people who are interested in buying here because of this impulse change of character are the same people who will be interested in buying here? Remember, for you to make money, someone has to make the same decision as you and join you into buying or selling that particular pair. Okay? So from that point, we can see we had a break of structure, and that has happened today. But now, if we refine these 2 points, this break of structure, because this is the main break of structure, this is the main change of character here. First of all, on YouTube and TikTok, if you are watching your YouTube, if you're watching your charts from TikTok, how many breaks of structure do we have here? What is it quality? One, we can see that all time frames did break structure, right? All time frames did break structure from this level, which means the points of interest that will be created is very, very strong, right? Two, I need to ask myself, if the market comes to that area, what are the potential reversal points? One, nilikuwa nishawachorea hii fair value gap. Two, we have a decisional point. I would like to draw it. We have a decisional point. Why is it decisional? Because you can see this is the last aggressive push that broke structure, right? So we have this break of structure here. Okay, the last aggressive push that broke structure, which is this one. Okay, you guys, you can join my YouTube if you want to see the analysis. Link in bio. So we have our decisional point here. Okay, remember I told you after each and every break of structure, ask yourself which are levels that you need or you think. POI, I'll always love giving them a different color, okay? Because they stand with different information. So I have that POI there, which is decisional. And I have extreme level here. Let me just draw it randomly. Yeah? And you have extreme level there. And also we have what? We have another fair value gap. We have another cluster fair value gap down here, okay? We also have another cluster fair value gap at around this particular area here. Guys, YouTube, let's like the live and share the live. We have another fair value gap there, but since the fair value gap is in between 2 points of interest, I'm just going to ignore it. What is one thing? How do you now focus your attention? One, I want to show you how you can have different break of structures. Sorry, you can have a break of structure but have different points or key levels. One, do not mistake me. I don't use fair value gap or cluster fair value gap. For instance, this fair value gap, this one here and the one that is here, I don't use them as POIs. The only purpose of that fair value gap means what? I'm going to wait for the market to reach to that point and give me confirmation entries. And there are some structures. I trade 5 structures. Okay, 5 different structures. I have structure 1. It does not need liquidity. Structure 2, it needs liquidity, but they are dependent. Structure 3 is dependent. POI and liquidity is dependent, and it has to involve what? Key level. Structure 4, it doesn't need to involve key level, but I can use fair value gap as a point of interest. That's the only structure that I can use fair value gap, okay, as a point of interest. And structure 5 is whereby I also need confirmation, meaning I need key level, a turning point of that market. So that is the purpose of fair value gaps, meaning fair value gaps, mostly I don't use them on what? I don't use them on any habit. For instance, you can see carefully, after we mitigated this fair value gap, let me delete everything else. And now we start going deeper into liquidity and so on. I'm going to, why? I won't delete. If you check carefully, this fair value gap after we mitigated, something very funny happened. After we mitigated this fair value gap, we saw a change of character, right? We saw a change of character. After a change of character, the same concept that we are applying in the higher time frame is the same concept you apply on the lower time frame. Okay, there's no difference. The same time, the same structures, the same way, the same things, the same concept you apply. Are we together? So, after a break of structure, what happens? We had remember the market was coming down, gives us a high, a low, a high, a low, a high, a low. And this is the last break of structure yenye ilifanyika. Market ikaendelea ku break structure, meaning ilituachia a certain level. Remember, there is a way of also identifying a point of interest. Si unakuja kuchora kimaramara hapa. Okay? And you can see now this became my what? This became my confirmation. This became my confirmed entry. Confirmed entry from where? Confirmed entry from where? It becomes my confirmed entry from where? It becomes my confirmed entry from this key level now. Let's assume we never had these POIs, okay? So this is the only way I'm allowed to use fair value gap. I wait for the market to mitigate that fair value gap, gives me a change of character, and I wait for it to come there. For those who are asking for liquidity, some of you are asking for liquidity, you already have liquidity here. So this was a buy here. So either I could have taken buy here directly, or this one which is a bit advanced here. So this structure 4, this structure 5. The same level, the same area, I got two structures. That is like double confirmation. Trading is not hard. We are the ones who are hard. And how do we become hard? Because we cannot sit down with the same concept, with the same strategy, with the same structure, and follow it. Follow it every day. That's where the issue comes in. Blessings. That's where the issue begins. That's where the issue comes in. Guys, follow my channel. Sikai hapo unasikiza na hujafollow bana. At least YouTube nobody cares whether umefollow watu wengi. You can follow as many as you can. You can watch my videos. If you don't know how to identify liquidity, it's there. You can look for it. You can learn how to identify liquidity. All right, together, guys. So here we had a continuation from that what? From that pile of fair value gap. But if I wanted to enter directly, now I have this POI that I have drawn down here. If I want to enter directly, then I have what? I have this decisional point. I can consider it. Okay. Remember, decisional point, it has a double break of structure. What are the things, YouTube guys and TikTok? What are the advantages of a break of structure? What are the top added advantages? I'm waiting for you guys to answer. Ni nini once a break of structure happens inaweza fanya? For instance, vitu zenye inaweza fanya ikupea strong POI. Anybody who can comment what it is? What are the added advantages? You guys have any added advantage that once the market gives you a break of structure, you can say, potentially this is a strong POI, potentially this is a POI I must not miss. What are they? Nangoja majibu, my G's. Nobody knows about it. Nimrod, you don't know anything? Kisilo, Betty, you guys don't have any idea. Let me give one. A double break of structure will give you a what? A strong point of interest. Let's like the live, Let's like the live. kwa sababu imekuwa ngumu. Eh? Is it hard? Are you guys for real? Even though imekuwa ngumu. Si ngumu, seriously. Si ngumu. Someone is saying leaving behind imbalance or impulsive. Okay, in general, that is one of the advantages. But in my sector, I've discussed these advantages before. Do you know any of the ones that I have discussed? So number one is having a double break of structure. Number two is when the market potentially gives you a what? When the market potentially gives you a what? A break on all time frames. Remember, a break on all time frames, starting from higher time frame, mid time frame, and lower time frame, gives you a strong point of interest. Premium and discount level, that's another thing. It can continue breaking structure to the upside. For instance, here you can see we continued breaking structure to the upside. Leaving what? Leaving at discount level. Okay, so that gives it a strong key. Are we together? So now, this is my key point of interest. I would be interested in seeing gold reacting, especially because we have broken structure. I would like to see gold coming, reacting to this level. And then also, remember, I use a concept of SMC to identify my points of interest. So I have one, and I have the second one down here. I have that one there, and the second one down here, right? But to me, mine on that below is being invalidated. I'm not going to use it, okay? So if the market fails to respect these, I'm done, okay? Also, remember you guys, I use something called sessions to give me session liquidity, and you'll allow me to, save it very well the way I would like. Tulikuwa tumezoea kutumia just a moment, I remove all these things. Okay, so this is how I draw it. Okay, so if you check, we have had another break of structure here. Why is OBS trying to reconnect me? Okay, I'm back. Okay, so basically you can see that the market gave a break of structure, and I'm expecting it to react from here. But now there is something called liquidity. You need to now come up with a way of identifying liquidity. Previous day low liquidity, Asian liquidity, all these types of liquidity, you need to come up with a way of mastering them. So first of all, I know that for those who know how to draw liquidity from a trendline liquidity, we have one that is dropping all the way from that level, right? We have one that is dropping all the way from that level. So what does this liquidity say? This liquidity says one thing. If the market goes, no matter where the market goes, it will always be trying to approach what? To approach that liquidity again until it invalidates this line. That one I'm promising you. No matter where the market goes, it will come back to invalidate these lines. It doesn't guarantee whether it will break. Okay? There's no guarantee whether it will break and go. But it must come back to invalidate this specific line. And you cannot limit how far a trend line can go. Inaweza amua hata, it doesn't care. A trend line can even go to there and then still come back. Okay? It's just that you are trying to do what? You're trying to come up with a way or a better way of identifying what? Of understanding. You guys join my YouTube channel, we do analysis. So, okay, you cannot limit it as per how far or where it can go. You can't limit it. So to me, the only point of interest I have is this. Otherwise, if it decides to keep on dropping remember, you shouldn't chase the markets once it violates such trend lines. Liquidity. Then me, I'm done with that. Point of interest. I'm done with that point of interest. Do not stress yourself. Usijistress. Once imekataa, just go on. Go on with your life. Go on with your waiting for the next break of structure. Waiting for the next point of interest that will be created. But usikae hapo trying to force it. No, bro. No. Is there any question up to that point? Because now we can see we have liquidity. And remember, by the time this market was going down, we had another liquidity floating all the way from that point to that point. So you can see this liquidity is the one being delivered. YouTube handle, link in bio, bro. Just click the link, it will take you directly to my YouTube channel. So you can see clearly what happened. We had a very good break. So the market is trying to distribute, meaning any point of interest below this trend line is invalid. The only thing that is making, because the purpose of this trend line is to take out all this liquidity we have below here. This liquidity is all, that's the purpose, right? All these points created, these ones, this liquidity. Okay, remember, people, when the market was buying, people were trying to go buying aggressively, okay? And now, even now, people are trying to sell aggressively. Kama saizi mnajua kuna watu sahi hata mkiangalia wana sell. So they have their stop losses above these levels here. So when the market is going to be coming back, it's going to be coming back to do what? To take out that liquidity. So you'll see eventually, maybe if the distribution will be okay, you might see it coming back, taking out all this liquidity that will be above this trend line drop. So what am I talking about? What I'm talking about now is very, very simple. The only reason this POI becomes, I wasn't interested in it, but the only reason it has become better or strong is because of what? This trendline liquidity. Okay, now here is what we say what? We were expecting this liquidity to distribute to the downside. Sellers to take control, but they might be reversed by buyers because of the opposite liquidity. And one thing I always say about liquidity is it should at least match. Inafaa kumatch. It should match. Hakuna story ya it should match. Kama hiyo, for instance, umeona hii liquidity line ni the same. But si unakuja kuchora ka trend line kadogo hapa, ati una expect ka inverse. Kadogo ka hapa kuna expect ka inverse. No. Hako ni kadogo. It has to be the same size. So that is my analysis on gold. Or basically that is my analysis on USD. I don't have any other point of interest. Now this is how I wake up. Trust me, kama sahi nisha record every advantage and disadvantage this point of interest is having. I woke up in the morning, I record, I have this point of interest. I feel like the market should react from there and blah, blah, blah. Okay? And you know the good thing is, if the market decides to respect that point of interest, you don't need to wait even at the trend line if ikiwe no. You just take your profits and go away. Right together. So, I would like us to end our session there, and then we go back on TikTok. Now we discuss what we are seeing, and we get to know what exactly do we need now to pay attention on. What are the things we need to pay attention on as we discuss? Remember, it's my first day coming with this YouTube channel live, but we'll be doing this every single day. But mostly I'll be more interested on psychological one-on-one kwa TikTok. So I want to end this and we meet on TikTok shortly, and then we get to understand. So to me, I know I have liquidity above, I have liquidity below, I have this point of interest. The market, whatever it does, that's on hiyo ni yenyewe sasa. Fanya Kenya nataka. Okay? Don't worry, every day from today for the next remaining 1 year, we must do a lot. Okay, so if you have not followed me, follow me. And as I end this session, don't go anywhere. Let's go back to YouTube and have a conversation. Go back to TikTok and have a conversation.